welcome to my channel. In this video you're going to see 4 different meals that I cooked last week. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. I hope you get some inspiration from it. If you like what you see, give me a thumbs up, give me a like, and I'd love for you to subscribe. Hope you like what you see. Tonight's dinner, we are going to be having sweet and sour chicken. I've got some leftover chicken from our roast that I cooked yesterday, which I'm going to chop up. I'm going to be adding a pepper, an onion, some sweet and sour sauce. We buy the one from Aldi and it's in like the packet rather than a jar. And this one tastes, in my opinion, just like the ones from like a Chinese takeaway. I add some dark soy sauce to it, and while I'm cooking all that up, I'll be cooking some, and we like basmati rice, which we really like. Just like the flavour of it, and I find the boil in the bag so much easier. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing for our dinner tonight. So what I've done here is I added the peppers and the onions, and I got them all softened up. Then I added the shredded chicken from leftover roast from yesterday, and then I added 2 packets, which is for 3 of us because we like it with a nice bit of sauce in it, of the sweet and sour sauce, and some soy sauce I've added to it as well. I've just let that heat up and get the chicken all heated up while the rice was taking, which is done now. So I'm going to get that drained and I'll serve it up. Monday evening dinner of sweet and sour chicken with rice. I like to garnish mine with a little bit of spring onion and some sesame seeds over the top as well. Thanks for watching. For dinner tonight we are having ham, egg and chips. So this morning, it's nearly 8 o'clock, so this morning I'm going to be putting the gammon in with in the slow cooker, and then pour the Coke over the top, and I literally will leave that till about 4 o'clock this afternoon. I don't spend a lot of money on the Coke that I use. I literally buy the cheapest one that I can get. And then the other ingredients obviously for later on is going to be potatoes to make my own chips, and then some eggs. So I will be showing you what I do with that later. So I'm going to fill it up to, so it's just about covering it. Fill it and then let the bubbles go down, and then I'll add some more. It's about half a bottle, so I use 1/2, and then, I mean, this Coke bottle I've had on the side for about 3 weeks now from the last time I did it, and it's still absolutely fizzy, so you'd be able to drink it. But yeah, I'd literally just buy that one for cooking with. Then I'm going to set it to low, which helps if I plugged it in. And then that's it. Lid on. See you in about 8 hours. I'm now going to cook the chips. So what I've done is I've cut them in sort of chip form, but that's the lovely part of being homemade, isn't it? They don't have to look like perfect straight cut chips. And then I'm just going to basically put them into my air fryer. These can be done in the oven, but what I would do is, if you're going to put them in the oven, is I would parboil them for 5 minutes first, like you would if you were doing a roastie, and then I would leave them to steam dry for a little bit. But what I'll do is I'll put these in my air fryer raw, a little bit of salt and a little bit of oil in them, give them a shake, and then hang on, let's just put that in there. I mean, literally, it is a drizzle of oil as well, so I'll just give it a bit of a shake. So I've drizzled them with oil now, some salt on them, giving them a shake, and put them on the chip setting, but I always go up to 25 And literally, I just turn that on. Halfway through, I'll give it a shake as well. Our ham is done, so I'm just leaving that to sort of rest, and I'll get that carving, and then the eggs I'll get done. I'm frying up the eggs. Henry doesn't like egg, but he does like omelette, and he doesn't think that that's an egg. So we're gonna give Henry an omelette and let him think that it's not an egg. But yeah, so that's how we have our ham, egg and chips. I will show you in a minute once it's plated up. So there we have it, ham, egg and chips, which is gammon done in the slow cooker and then finished off with some maple syrup and brown sugar. And as you can see, Henry has an omelette with his, and we both have fried eggs with homemade chips. Now adding the mince. I've used 750 grams of mince. I might double up on it so that I'm going to have some for leftover for tomorrow's dinner as well. I also use the 5% mince as well. I just prefer that. So what I'll do is I've just turned the heat up, and now I've stirred it around a little bit. I'm going to let that brown off, and while that's browning off, I'm going to make the sauce. Now you can see it's browned off. I'm adding 300 ml of beef stock. I like to use the stock squishy, not the powdery cubes. I like to use the ones that are like a stock pot. And then I'm adding a can of tinned tomatoes. Give that a stir. I'm also going to add half a teaspoon of this and some puree and salt and pepper, and then I'm going to leave that to simmer for a little while. I'm giving it a good stir. As you can see, it's now bubbling away, so I'm going to be putting the lid on and leaving that for 20 minutes just to simmer away. I've just added 400 can of kidney beans and a teaspoon of sugar. You could also add a square of dark chocolate if you had that to hand, but I haven't. I've brought it to the boil, and now I'm going to let it simmer for another 10 minutes with the lid off, and then after that I'm going to let it sit for 10 minutes with the heat off completely while I cook my rice. So it's Saturday today, and on a Saturday I try to do some form of fake away dinner, so it feels like we're having a bit of a treat. So as you can see, I've done quite chunky ones today. I've cut my chips ready. All I do with those is it's just a couple of potatoes cut into chunky chips, and then I'll stick them in the air fryer, a little bit of oil, a little bit of salt, and then I cook them. I've also made homemade burgers as well, which was literally half of this pack, excuse the mess in it, but half the pack of mince with a very fine diced half a red onion, and I basically mashed it all together. And then I've got one of these that I've just washed up, but I've got one of these which stuffies or something it's called, that you can actually make and put a hole into it, and then that way you can just turn the oven off. You can stuff your burgers, but I've just done normal burgers, and then I have made my own homemade rolls. So I don't really know what happened to the one in the middle, but I've just made my own homemade rolls. So I've just cooked them, leaving them now to sort of cool down, ready. And so I'm going to put the burgers in the oven for the same amount of time, it's about 20-25 minutes as the chips that go in the air fryer, and then it all come together. So there you have it, homemade burgers, homemade burger rolls, salad and homemade chips. Yum. Thanks for watching today, guys. I really hope that you got some inspiration from the meals that I've cooked this week, and that you liked what you saw. So I'd love you to subscribe, and I'd love you to give me a like. I'm also over on Instagram as well, where I post daily food posts of what I've cooked up, honest dinners, so like beige dinner sometimes, or from scratch dinners. Yeah, and also I do some really funny reels over there, so I'd really like you to go over there and give me a follow, and yeah, get involved with the laughs that I do over there. So yeah, if you like what you see, be sure to subscribe.